Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your holiday week. This is your general collective reading for Monday, December 23rd, 2024. I am Treya Tarot. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and I hope that the readings so far have been helpful. I'm going to use the Ethereal Visions this morning. It was the first deck on the top of the pile, so that's the one I'm using. If you like these readings, please like and subscribe, ring the notification bell. That helps me grow and helps me get more readings to you if you like them. Oh, we had a whole bunch fly out of the deck. But the one that stuck around on the table was the Ten of Swords. Okay, now that I've picked up all the other cards. All right, so the Ten of Swords, as a starting point, is actually a pretty good sign. I mean, I know as an end point, it can be an omen of destruction or difficulty or sadness and mental anguish, things like that. But as a beginning to a reading, it starts from the end of a cycle. Oh, so what comes after is what is more forward moving, I guess is the best way to say it. So the mental anguish, the pain, the self-inflicted patterns, all of that stuff is in the past, is absolutely leaving. Okay, so I like that. I'm not so sad about that. Okay, I'm gonna go with the middle pile. I tend to be a middle pile person whenever I cut the deck. Don't know why. Queen of Wands, so the energy of home, passion, creativity, warmth, nurturance. It tells me that there is a sense of warmth taking over where there was coldness. Ace of Swords, new ideas. So what I like about this so far is that if I look at it as an energetic movement, right, from left to right, you have this end of a cycle that's very painful, very mentally painful, potentially very repetitive. Okay, this card often represents being able to finally see the light dawning after a period of intensely painful patterning. The Queen of Wands has this, again, nurturing energy, this sort of warmth to her. She is the one who stokes the hearth fire. So she understands the self, but she also understands how the self can nurture others if you know how to take care of things and yourself. And the Ace of Swords is that new concept, that new idea. The Moon. On a collective level, so far I can feel that maybe this holiday season might be a little difficult, but at the same time kind of cathartic. Yeah, okay. It seems to me that taking care of the self, taking care of what you need in the middle of any process that feels murky or strange or uncertain is probably your best way to go. Yeah. So for that present row, right? So this is the past. This is understanding self-care in the midst of a lesson. Okay. This is the intuition, that which is unseen. The murky path where you don't have all the information yet. This is about being right versus being included. This is about the Five of Swords has this energy of what are you willing to risk to be correct or to be the person who wins. And the Nine of Swords is that anxiety. The interesting part about this Nine of Swords card is the images of the ghosts here that are haunting her. It's her ancestors, in my opinion. You know, the little death skull here. As well, there's this aspect of that which is haunting her is something that may not, how do I say this? It's something that comes from beyond her. And that's why I feel that this card is particularly poignant as a Nine of Swords. The anxiety she's feeling is something that was given or passed down. It's something that comes from beyond her own personal experience. So what's interesting about this is that sort of connotation coming into play during the holidays. So you may find that there's a new awareness available to you because of any family interactions you have over the next week or 2 weeks. You may find that a piece of information comes to you that allows you to sort of reconcile or overturn or fix, whatever word you want to use, any sort of passed down anxiety, any sort of battle where you weren't heard and feel the need to fight even harder to be correct. Two of Pentacles. So this is your future position. Two of Pentacles. Four of Wands. I like that. Okay. And then the Ten of Cups. So the good thing about this is that there's clearly a processing from one state to another, right? So you start off with that Ten of Swords, which is that super self-destructive, patterning of repeating the past over and over and over again, hurting yourself because you won't change, essentially. And then you learn the self-care, and then you have the new idea, and then you have to sort it out through that Moon card. You have to pay attention to your gut and listen and all of those things. And then you have to decide whether or not you need to be right. And then you have to decide whether or not the anxieties, whether or not the patterns that have taken, quite a bit of your energy over your lifetime were yours or not to begin with. And then it's success in the new venture, union, and then happiness. So there's an integration here. It's a pretty clear integration from who we used to be into who we're going to be. And it seems that this has to do with themes of family, themes of anxiety, old battles, old fights that just don't actually matter anymore. I would be curious to see how people's holidays went, especially when you're in a group with all your family there, It feels like this will be a sort of telling moment as to how much growth you were able to achieve. And I don't mean that as in if you don't feel resolution, you haven't grown. But I do feel that in the way of, if resolution comes to you over the next couple of weeks in terms of any one particular issue that you've had either repeatedly with family or repeatedly because of family lineage, meaning you share issues, in one area of your life that one of your parents also had, something like that, that this next 2 weeks could bring you a lot of comfort. It could be the end of those things, and it will tell you whether or not you've actually done the work that you think you did. So I do hope everyone actually gets to have that moment. I mean, I think we all want to feel that inner union, that inner integration. This is also a card of portals, the Four of Wands. So if it's literally the transition, it's moving from one place to another, just like the kind of trajectory of the whole reading gives you. Knight of Cups, the Star, and the Nine of Wands, which is interesting. This echoes that Queen of Wands too. The Knight of Cups and the Star tells me that there may be a lot of expression of forward planning, future planning, forward movement, love, unconditional love with that star energy, maybe even a sense of divine connection, or like everyone is on the same wavelength. There might be experiences during gatherings where you feel like everything's very synergistic, whereas it might not be expected. But that Nine of Wands tells me that this whole process was about us learning the balance between self and other, how we protect ourselves. Do we protect ourselves, or do we just let people take? Or is it more about how we actually see Because with that Nine of Wands, you're being asked to notice if what you think is happening is what's really happening. You're being asked to know your boundaries, know all of your parameters that only have to do with you. There is the implication of keeping people out with this card, but there's also the very clear, because it's a Wands card, connotation of what are you protecting? Are you protecting your passions or your sadness? Are you protecting your wounds? I mean, look at his little bandage on his head. Or are you protecting something precious to you? Internally, like something that you're stoking, some sort of creative quality within you that you don't want to lose. So it feels very much to me like our hopes and our anxieties will be sort of plainly apparent to us over the next couple of weeks, specifically this week, obviously, because this is today's reading. But I would be very curious to see how this plays out for anyone, if anyone even wants to express something that personal in a comment section. But please, you're welcome to. And, take your paces, go slow. Like, readings like this tell me that there's sort of a heightened energy. It may feel kind of profound and wonderful, but it may also be kind of exhausting. So I would, I could see how all of us might benefit from slowing down a little bit. I hope everyone has a good holiday. Whatever holiday you celebrate. I'll be celebrating multiple ones, and doing my best to enjoy everything that I can. So I'm sending all my love. Happy holidays, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.